practice in a child's pose at the back of the mat. So sitting down onto the heels, taking the legs whichever distance apart feels best for you. And we're going to start to walk the hands forwards, trying to keep the hips back onto the heels, resting the forehead down to the mat, and just letting the arms soften. So really trying to stretch out the front of the body across the legs, and then just resting down. Starting to take some slow, deep breaths here. So we're going to begin our practice this evening by having about 10 slow breaths here, just tuning into how we're feeling this evening and letting everything soften. So now that you're here on the mat, it's the time to let go of whatever else has been going on in your day and your week. And we're just going to come down, relax. And for the next 45 minutes, this is the only thing you need to think about. Maybe observing where you're holding tension in the body this evening. Can you soften the arms a little bit? Can you soften the hips back towards the heels? And while we're practicing this evening, just give you something to think about maybe while you're in your child's pose. We're going to be thinking about, can you sense your own energy level? So can you use that energy level that you can sense as an intuitive guide throughout this practice to know if you should maybe rest or if you should try the harder variation, and just take that off the mat as well into your week, knowing when's good to rest and when's good to keep pushing and energizing yourself. So I found a really nice quote for that this week, which I'll just read to you now. So it says, "There is no point in hustling if your intuition is telling you now is the time to rest. Just like there is no point in resting if momentum is circling you like a beautiful hurricane. So what is your now?" So there's something to think about as we go through the practice maybe. On your next inhalation, we're going to walk the hands around to the left-hand side of the mat, keeping the chest down, keeping the forehead down, and finding a stretch across the whole left side of the body. So trying to keep the shoulders even here, and just walking the hands around as far as you feel a stretch. Maybe you want to take the left hand on top of the right to increase the sensation there. And notice how this side stretch changes while you're breathing. So can you feel the breath into the left side ribs, expanding on your inhalations and contracting as you exhale? On your next inhalation, we'll come back round to center. And as you exhale, we'll walk the hands over to the right. Slow, deep breathing here. Maybe you can start to make your exhalations audible by making a slight contraction at the back of the throat, activating your Ujjayi breathing. One more full breath here. And then we'll bring the hands back to center. Resting in a child's pose, maybe rocking the forehead from side to side on the mat. Massaging out the forehead there. And then slowly start to bring your hands back towards you. So you come up to a kneeling position at the back of your mat. From that position, we're going to let the right arm come up beside us, letting the fingertips rest down. And we're going to drop left ear towards left shoulder. So you can have the eyes open or closed here, whatever feels best. And then maybe taking the left hand on top of the right side of the head and adding a little bit of pressure to find some nice neck stretch there. So you might want to play with where you position your chin, seeing where you feel the tension in the neck. And then when you find a good spot, we're going to hold there And see if you can direct your breathing into that area, imagining it softening and relaxing as you exhale. So really important throughout this practice to be able to notice the difference between a good stretch and a bad stretch. We don't want to overdo anything. This is meant to be a nice wind down. We're gently going to release the top hand, tuck the chin into the chest and draw a line across your collarbones until right ear meets right shoulder. Let the left fingertips hang down heavy, let the left arm be heavy. Maybe adding a little bit of pressure through the right hand, finding that stretch on the other side. One more full breath here. And then bringing chin back into chest, just starting to make little half circles with the head. The chin just comes forward and then meets the opposite shoulder with the ear. Let the arms remain really heavy here. And if that's feeling okay, we can start to circle the chin up and back, taking it to a full neck roll. One more circle in this direction. And then we're curving the other way. So circling in the opposite direction now, just going as far as feels okay in your neck this evening. And then letting the heads come up to center, drop the chin to the chest. We're going to interlace the hands and take them behind the head at the base of the skull. Let the elbows cave in and we're drawing the head down. So we're going to start to round the back here, finding a stretch on the back of the neck, all through the back of the shoulders. And then you're going to start to inhale, open the elbows up, lift the chest. And exhale, curve it down. Continuing moving between these two with your own breath. Inhale as you expand. Exhale, curving down. One more like this. On the next inhale, we're going to bring the arms out wide. And as you inhale, turn the thumbs back behind you. And as you exhale, roll the shoulders in the socket and turn the thumbs the opposite way. So inhale to twist the arms, the thumbs come back behind you. Trying to keep the spine nice and neutral here. Exhale, rolling the thumbs down and back the opposite way. So as you inhale, you're externally rotating the shoulders. And exhaling to internally rotate the shoulders. One more like this. Inhale, externally rotate the shoulders. Lift the chest this time. Exhale, internally rotate and maybe bring the head down towards the ground. Inhale, we're going to lift and roll the shoulders. Exhale, the opposite way and down. Once more like this. This time as we exhale to come down, we're going to interlace the hands behind the back. Lift the hands that are clasped away from you. And maybe bring the crown of your head onto the mat. Lifting the hips up, let the shoulders come all the way over. Finding a nice stretch here. And we're going to hold here for a few breaths. Maybe letting the shoulders drop a little bit more. Inhaling to draw yourself back up. This time bring yourself so that you're standing on your knees, reaching the arms forwards. We might tuck under the toes behind us. And as we exhale, we're going to keep the body like a plank, reaching the arms forwards and lowering yourself back. So you're leaning backwards but keeping your body in a straight line like a plank. Inhaling to lift up. Exhaling to come back. Inhaling up. 2 more like this. Going as far as you feel comfortable to this evening. So the further back you go, the more challenging it is. On this one, we're going to hold the position at the back for 2 breaths. So inhale to lower yourself back and then hold your body there. Nice full breaths here. Feeling the quads working. Engaging the core. Inhale to come back up, let the hands fall down to the mat, finding the tabletop position. We're going to exhale and press between the hands, lifting the spine up to our cat pose. Chin tucks into chest. Inhale, lift the sit bones up, let the belly drop down, draw the chest between the arms. Exhale, rounding the opposite way. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. 2 more like this. On your next inhalation, finding a neutral position, tucking under the toes. We're going to keep the gaze between the thumbs as we start to push the hips back to the heels so much so the knees might lift off the mat. And then we're going to straighten the legs out, finding our first downward facing dog. So we're trying to make an upside down V shape here, really lifting the sit bones up to the sky, and we're going to start by pedaling out the legs, feeling into your hamstrings and your calves, noticing if they're feeling a little bit tight or loose. Holding here for a couple more breaths, maybe continuing to wiggle, or maybe you find a little bit more stillness here. From there, we're going to softly come down onto the knees again. And you're going to take yourself so that your left foot is coming across the right calf. So I'll face the back so you can see. Your left foot's coming in to the back of the right calf. You can keep the toes tucked under. Keep flexing through the left foot. And then we're going to set ourselves back onto the calf. So this is going to be like a self-massage for your calves. So it might feel quite painful, but it feels really nice afterwards. So you're going to bring your hands into prayer and try and sit your weight back onto that calf as much as you can. And we're going to hold here for 5 breaths, so keep breathing. Maybe as you stay here a bit longer, you can sit the weight back a little bit further. One more full breath here. And then releasing the hands back to the mat. Tucking under left toes, bring right foot across. So you might need to step the knee out a little bit wider so that it's the ankle part of your leg that's into the calf. And then we're going to sit the weight back on the other side. 5 deep breaths here. And this hurts for me as well, I promise. One more breath. And then releasing the hands back onto the mat. Tuck the toes, lift the hips high to your downward facing dog. Sending the gaze between the hands, we're going to walk the feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift yourself halfway, so you might bring the hands up onto your shins. Extend through the front of the body. Exhale to fold in towards the legs. And then inhale, bend the knees, lift the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, let the hands come down to your chest. So we're going to go through our sun salutations now. When you're ready, you're inhaling to lift the arms up, send the gaze up to the thumbs. Exhale to fold over the legs. Inhale, lift the chest, send the gaze forwards. Exhale, planting the hands down and step the right foot back. Inhaling, step the left foot back, holding your plank. Exhale, softening onto the knees, tuck the elbows in tight to the ribs, lowering yourself all the way onto the mat. Pressing into the fronts of the feet, take an inhalation to lift the chest up and float the hands. Squeeze the back of the body. Exhale to release. Tucking under the toes, we're pressing back up, so either using your knees or staying on the toes. Take an inhalation to press to your plank and an exhalation to come back to your downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, inhale to bend the knees, send the gaze between the thumbs. And as you exhale, either hopping or stepping to the top of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, reverse swan dive the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to the chest. And we're going to do the exact same again. When you're ready, inhale the arms up. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, lift the chest, gaze forwards. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back into a plank. Inhale, holding your plank, engage the core. This time either using your knees or as you exhale, rock onto the toes, bring the shoulders forwards and bend at the elbows, coming to a chaturanga. Lowering all the way down, press through the fronts of the feet and inhale to lift. Float the hands. Exhaling, release. Tucking under the toes, take an inhalation to come back to your plank. And exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze between the thumbs. Exhale, hop or step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive the arms up, gaze to your thumbs, really extend through the fingertips. Exhale the hands to the chest. We go the same again, one more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lift the chest, gaze up. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back into your plank. Inhale in this position, engage the core. Exhaling to lower all the way down to the mat. Pressing into the fronts of the feet, inhale, lift the chest, maybe pressing into the hands to lift a little bit further this time if the shoulders can stay down. Exhale, lower completely. Inhale, lifting to your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze between the hands, bend the knees, hips back. Exhale, hopping or stepping to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift the chest halfway. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, reverse swan dive the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a couple of breaths here. Really feel yourself grounding down through your feet. Noticing the points of contact in the mat. The big toes, little toes, outer and inner edges of the heel. Can you feel your inner thighs engaged, your belly drawn back slightly? And then we'll go one more time, and then we're going to add on a flow. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lift the chest, gaze forwards. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back into your plank. Inhaling, engaging everything. Exhaling to lower. Inhaling to your cobra. Exhale, lying flat. Inhale, pressing to your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. From there, grounding through the left foot, we're going to inhale to lift the right leg up behind us. And exhale to step the foot through between your hands. If the foot comes to back here, we can take a hold of the ankle and step it up to the top of the mat. That is no problem. Staying high on the back toes, we're going to inhale to lift the arms up, finding a high lunge position. And from there, we're going to ground into the back heel and interlace the hands behind the back. Taking inhale to open the chest here. And as you exhale, we're going to start to fold over the front leg. So we're overloading the front leg there, taking more weight through it. And as you do that, let the arms start to come overhead. So the shoulders coming to the inside of the knee, and just let the crown of the head drop towards the ground here, letting it be really heavy. Trying to notice if you're jutting the hips out to the side and see if you can draw the right hip back and the left hip forwards as we fold and we're holding here. So this is our humble warrior position. One more breath here. Then we're inhaling to lift ourselves back up. Releasing the hands and exhale, frame the front foot. Taking inhalation, stepping straight back to your downward facing dog. Take a breath here and then we're coming to the other side. Inhaling to lift the left leg up behind. Exhale, step the foot between your hands. Staying high on the back toes, inhale, reach the arms up. And then we're grounding the back heel so it's turning to a 45-degree angle. Reaching to clasp the hands behind. This time interlace the fingers the way that feels a bit funny. Keeping that bend in the front knee, expand the chest open as you inhale. And exhale to fold over the leg. So you can make this harder by taking the feet further apart. Bringing the crown of the head all the way down to the ground maybe. Keeping the back leg active, pressing through the outer edge of the back foot. Inhaling to lift yourself back up to center. Release the hands and exhale, frame the front foot. Stepping it straight back into your downward facing dog. Take an inhale to bend the knees. Exhale, hopping or stepping to the top of the mat. Inhale, straighten the legs, lift the chest halfway. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, reverse one, dive the arms up, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, hands come to the chest. And we'll take 5 breaths here in our mountain pose at the top of the mat. So taking the feet where you feel most grounded, maybe you want big toes touching, maybe you prefer feet under hips. Really rooting down through the feet, feeling that connection to the earth. Lifting the chest up, eyes can close. Letting your tailbone soften down slightly if you have a tendency to stick your bum out. One more breath here. When you're ready, we're releasing the hands. We're going to send the weight over to the left foot. And inhale to lift the right knee as we lift the arms up. So keep the arms nice and soft here. As you exhale, we're going to start to kick the right leg behind us, bringing the arms back as well. So reaching the right toes back. Inhale to draw the knee and lift the arms up. Exhale, we're kicking the leg back. One more like this. Inhale, lift the arms up, draw the knee in. So it doesn't matter how far the leg's coming off the ground. You can take this as far or as little as you want. Holding here in this position. And then we're going to see if we can start to soften into the left leg. So bending the left knee so the right toes can reach the mat. And inhale, reach the arms up, we're back into our high lunge position. Taking a breath here. On your next inhalation, really reaching through the fingertips. And as you exhale, let the arms be heavy, swing them back behind you as your chest comes down. So inhale, the arms lift up, expand. Exhale, everything flops down. 2 more like this, inhaling to lift. Maybe exhaling through the mouth. 1 more inhale. Exhale through the mouth. And then inhaling to our lunge position. Take the hands into prayer. We're going to bend the back knee and bring the knee down to the mat. Untuck the back toes. And then as you exhale, you're going to see if you can straighten the front leg, coming up onto the heel, nothing else changes. And inhale to sink into the hips. So as you exhale, the front leg straightens, maybe you come up onto the heel. Inhale, bend the front knee, sink down. 2 more like this. Keeping the core engaged. Then maybe we add on some arms. So as we exhale, we twist away from the front leg. So your right arm's coming towards the right foot. Inhale to lift to center. Exhaling to twist away. Inhale to center. This time we're going to exhale to twist away. See if we can keep the front leg straight and maybe drop the right fingertips down to right heel. Lifting the left arm up and over, coming to an extended camel pose. So this is quite a challenging balance posture. Seeing if you can work out what you need to engage to find balance here. On your next inhale, coming back up to center, bend the front leg. Tucking under the back toes with an exhale, lifting off the back knee. Inhaling here to prepare. And as we exhale, we're going to propel ourselves forwards, lifting the back leg. Inhale, draw the knee back into chest. Exhale, step the foot down, have a minute to shake out. So then we're just going to do the exact same on the other side when you're ready. Grounding into the right foot. Inhale, the arms lift up, lift the left knee. Exhale, start to kick the left leg back behind you. And inhale, the knee draws in again. Exhale, kick the leg out. Inhale, drawing it in. This time as we exhale, we're holding that variation of warrior 3 we're in. And seeing if we can start to soften into the right knee to drop the left toes down to the mat, and inhale, reach the arms up back into our high lunge position. Take a breath here. Try and keep the hips squared off to the front of your mat. On your next inhale, starting to reach through the fingertips even more. And exhale, let everything soften, arms come back. Inhaling to lift up. Exhale, flop. 2 more like this. Inhaling to lift. This time exhale through the mouth. 1 more inhale. Open the mouth, sigh out. Inhaling to lift. Hands come into prayer and we're softening down the back knee. From there, you might need to take the front foot a little bit further in front of you. Untuck the back toes. We're keeping everything of the upper body the exact same. We're just going to exhale. See if we can straighten the front leg and come up onto the heel. Inhale, bend the front knee, sink down. Exhale, coming back. Inhaling, sinking the hips forwards. 2 more like this with your own breath, going at your own pace. This time we're adding on arms. So as we exhale and straighten the left, arms coming towards the back of the mat, right arm to the front. And then as we inhale, the arms lift up by the ears again. Exhaling to twist. Inhale to lift. This time as we exhale and come back, maybe we're holding here, letting the left fingertips drop to the left heel. Lifting the right arm up and keep pushing the hips upwards here. Lifting through the chest. Open through the front of the body. One more breath here. Inhale to lift back up. Hands come into prayer, tucking the back toes. Lifting off that back knee. Take an inhalation here. And see if you can exhale and glide into the front leg, lifting the back leg up. And then inhale, draw the knee back up the opposite way. Exhale, soften down. And then we're just going to tuck the chin into the chest from here. Let the shoulders be heavy. Let the whole body be heavy. And we're going to come to a ragdoll position at the top of the mats. So taking the feet nice and wide. Almost mat distance apart here. Hold on to opposite elbows. And let your torso sway from side to side. Then maybe finding a point of stillness in the center. Let the head be really heavy, releasing any tension from the neck. Noticing if you're shifting the weight backwards or forwards, trying to spread it evenly throughout the feet. Feeling any tension releasing from the back of the body. And then letting the hands release down to the mat. We're going to bend at the knees and start to sit the hips down. So coming any way you can to find a seated position on the mat. From there, we're taking the hands back behind us. And we're going to drop the knees to the right hand side. Inhale to lift them to center. And exhale to drop them to the left. Inhaling to come back up to center. Exhale, they drop to the right. This time, keep the left leg as it is and straighten the right leg out. So you're coming to internal rotation of the left leg. So you've got a right angle there. Your right leg is out straight, and we're going to inhale to lift the arms up and exhale to fold towards the right leg. And we're going to hold here for 10 to 15 breaths. So not taking anything too far now, just letting the body relax a little bit and try and release some of the effort that you might have been putting into the start of the class. Inhale to bring yourself back up to center. Bend the leg back in towards you. Take an inhale to lift both knees to the center. And exhale, drop them the opposite way. We'll take 2 more windscreen wipers with the legs. Inhale, the knees point to the ceiling. Exhale, the knees drop to the side. Inhaling to ceiling. Exhale, the knees drop. This time the right leg stays in internal rotation, straightening the left leg out in front of you. Inhale to reach the arms up. And exhale, we're folding over the left leg. So it might feel slightly funny in the right hip, the leg that's in internal rotation if you're not used to that, but just fold to wherever feels good for you in your body. Inhale to walk yourself back in. Bending the legs up to the ceiling. And then reaching the arms either side of the legs, engaging the core. And using your core to slowly lower yourself down to the mat. And draw the knees into your chest. From there, we're going to rock from side to side. Maybe drawing circles with the knees to massage out the back. And then taking the arms into L shapes either side of you. We're going to exhale and let the knees drop to the right hand side. And inhale to draw them up to center. Exhaling to drop to the left. Inhale, coming up to center. This time we're exhaling, dropping to the right, sending the gaze to the left elbow. And we're going to hold that twist here. So feel free to take any other variations of a twist. You know, you might want to straighten out the right leg underneath you. Or if this feels enough for you this evening, then just staying here, trying to keep both shoulders even on the mat. And feeling the nice rotation through the spine. Inhaling to bring the knees back up to center. Exhaling to drop them over to the left. Inhale, we'll come back up to center again. Exhaling to the right. This time when you come up to center, we're exhaling to hold on the left side and we're going to send the gaze over to the right elbow. Inhale to draw the knees back up to center. Hugging the knees into your chest again. And then we're going to come into our happy baby posture. So either holding onto the backs of the thighs and drawing the knees to either side of the armpits. Or if that's feeling okay, maybe you hold the ankles and you can draw the knees in. Or maybe you can reach to the outer edges of the feet. And you can let the knees come down either side of the ribs and start lifting the heels up to the ceiling. Trying to keep the lower back pressed down onto the mat here. Really nice opening for the hips. And keeping the breath soft. And then if there's any other postures you feel you want to practice this evening before coming into your relaxation, feel free to do them now. If not, we're bringing the back of the body to a comfortable position on the mat. Straightening the legs out long in front of us. Let the palms of the hands face up towards the ceiling. Let the feet drop out to either side, releasing any effort in the legs. And then maybe letting the eyes closed if that feels comfortable. Releasing any control over the breath. And for the last few minutes, seeing if you can find complete stillness. So taking your Shavasana, your final resting pose. If you struggle to focus here and you find that your mind's wandering a lot, you could maybe count the breathing, or maybe you could bring your attention to how the breath's moving your body. So feeling the belly rise, the rib cage expand out, the chest rise as you inhale, and feeling yourself soften and really sink down into the mat as you exhale. Slowly starting to bring some awareness back into your body. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Gently rocking the head from side to side. Bending up the legs towards you. And when you feel ready to, rolling all the way over onto your right hand side. And then in your own time, make your way to a seated position on the mat. The eyes can remain closed. Feeling the weight of the sit bones into the mat. And feeling a slight lift through the crown of your head. Finding a really nice straight spine. And we'll finish our practice with 3 closing breaths. Taking an inhale, bring the arms out around to the sides. Let the palms meet together at the center. And then exhale to bring the hands down to your chest. Taking 2 more of these in your own rhythm. head down towards your hands, bringing the thumbs to your forehead to think kind thoughts, to your lips to speak kind words, and back to the chest to have a kind heart. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. Namaste.